Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. President William Samoei Ruto has undergone a metamorphosis and he has decided that he's not mincing his words. Those who thought that this is a man of God who will spare his nemesis, he has decided to show his real characters. Anybody who crosses his path is on a collision way and they will meet head on. It seems that is his New Year resolution. He is threatening anybody who is going against his will. Recently, he has told us that he's not going to obey court orders because according to him, those orders are meant to sabotage his development agendas, that he feels someone is out and someone is sponsoring some unscrupulous people, he says, who do not want his government to progress. And most of the independent institutions are either aligning to his demands for peace, and if you try to go against him, then you are enemies. Recently, Judge Nyotu complained very publicly that in the case of Aurora and Kimore Dam, the case collapsed and the judge released all the 8 suspects, and she said it was out of dereliction of duty and intentional sabotage from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. And that means that the DPP has decided to play along so that they are in peace. The judges who have been making rulings against his agenda, the housing levy, stopping the universal health care, have been warned. Those who are going to courts have been told that there is a sword that is not meant to cut any vegetables, but to deal with those who are trying to go against him. Now, the independent institutions like the EACC, the DPP, the DCI, and the courts are under a lot of scrutiny to see how they are going to maneuver within a government that has declared war on them. Now, recently, in fact, a few days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, one of the journalists, reporters from Citizen TV, had a one-on-one interview with the EACC boss, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission boss, Mr. Twalib, just to understand how they are carrying on in an environment that is full of intimidation and in an environment where Kenyans don't even have faith in these independent institutions because people feel there is a lot of state capture. And he said something that will begin his journey to a Mombasa court at night. Listen to him.
How many cabinet secretary serving in the present administration are under investigations by EACC?
When you are PS, when you are CS, when you are heading a very big organization, you are under our radar. You belong to those what you call highly exposed political persons. Hii mtu sasa anavaa saa ya 10 million. Na kabla kuingia kwa hii serikali alikuwa kibiriti tu, hakuna kitu anavaa, alikuwa anavaa Casio. So those are now red flags that this man, he may be doing something.
Now, when he said that there are some government officials, because he said there they're scrutinizing PSS, the CSS, and government officials because they fall in that category that he feels could misuse and abuse office. He described a minister or a cabinet secretary whose lifestyle has really changed abruptly, wearing some wristwatches that cost just so much. And many people believe that is Murkomen. Why? Recently there's been a debate around Murkomen. Let us read something. That while attending a cabinet secretary on June 2nd, Murkomen wore a Hublot Classics Fusion Ceramic King Gold watch, which is estimated to be around 1.4 million Kenya shillings. So Murkomen, ever since he was appointed into the transport ministry, his lifestyle has changed and he has defended it that he loves this kind of lifestyle. And the watch that is being talked about is the one that I'm showing you there. They say that he's got classy watches. So when this came out, a debate is already around Murkomen. Some people are saying that he is next. But my question is just one, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Twalib is saying that the moment you are appointed into those high offices, then automatically you are under or on their radar. 1 year down the line, we haven't seen any state officer arraigned in court, especially those who are friendly to the Kenya Kwanza government. So the question is, how serious is he with what he is telling us? Because in the last 1 year that William Ruto has been in office, we have seen people being taken out from jail and they are pardoned. People who are jailed for, misuse or suspected misuse of billions of money, they are being taken out, meaning that they are now being sanitized. And we have seen the case that William Ruto had already taken a stand that it was due to political machinations and witch hunt, the Aurora and Kimorer that collapsed. That is what we have seen. We have not seen any CS, any PS being taken to court. But then there is something else. Mr. Twalib must decide where he wants to fall. Because if he decides to follow Murkomen, then I can assure you that he's not going to make it. Why? Murkomen is a very close ally of William Samoei Ruto. Many people interpret that his statement was describing Murkomen. Murkomen was mentioned adversely in the G2G deal together with the Davis Chirchir, who is the energy minister. And many people believe that they represent the president wherever they are. In fact, many times when Murkomen speaks, you would simply take it that that is the president speaking. So in the G2G deal, he was mentioned as if he was representing the president there. The Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei has always maintained that Murkomen is corrupt, that he signs deals with the Chinese government and he gets billions of shillings. You all understand that in a government such as this, if it is true that he's getting some kickbacks to the tunes of millions or billions, he is not eating alone. Your guess is as good as mine. And so if he is on a collision path to try and follow Murkomen, then he is not going to succeed. Because he is touching at the heart of President William Samoei Ruto. We have seen Margaret Nyakango, who exposed wastage and corruption in the government. The next thing we saw was that she was apprehended and she was being taken to a Mombasa court. People made a lot of noise because people felt that now they want her out to get someone in that docket, control of budget, someone who will conceal all the rot in the government. I don't know where that case, whether it was thrown, but it could be a case in waiting. People, Kenya erupted because leaders from Kisii realized that this was going to backfire on them, and people like Kusoro, quickly convened a press conference and they wanted to exonerate William Ruto, saying that whenever William Ruto is out, someone is messing up some government officials. So if the EACC boss is going to behave in a manner that is not friendly to the government, I can assure you that he's going to find himself in a Mombasa court, because it is either you dance to the tune like the DPP and all the other independent institutions, or you try to stand firm and you'll either be in court or threats will start following you. And this is why I'm saying that owing to the fact that William Ruto has threatened people, he does not want anybody who goes against him. In fact, it is either his way or the highway. You choose where to be. Mr. Twalib must tell us exactly by action where he is, because if you look at the way that office is operating, I can safely conclude that the office is dancing to the executive's tune. You can convince me otherwise. I know they have followed up people like Oparanya, and they are being used to try and tame opposition leaders, people who they want on their side. So I don't think that Mr. Twalib was serious. It must be action, not just words. Because for how long are they trying to scrutinize or to find out whether someone is corrupt? He has told us that he's following up some ministers whose lifestyles have changed and work, or, wearing some very expensive watches. Are we going to see any investigations? Are we going to see any arrests if cases are collapsing as a result of sabotage from the DPP? Those are not my words, but the judge who was handling that case said it. So are we going to see any changes? Because I've got a feeling that both the DCI, the DPP, the courts, these people are working together. They are working together, and most of them fear for their lives because of the threats. They are also protecting their jobs, such kind of things. And that's why I'm telling you that if he is serious, and when he made those words, when he spoke them that he's now going to try and follow up some ministers, I know he's on Ruto's radar. If he makes good his threat, then I can assure you that is it. He's not going to make it, because William Ruto's new resolution is, you're either in my pocket or you fall by the wayside. He is not mincing any words at all. I don't know what to think. Do you think the EACC is independent? Because that institution is supposed to be independent. Do you think they can wake up and follow up a case, especially for someone who is close to William Ruto, without any interference? But even if they do that, they give the DPP that case and it will collapse. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is why I want to submit to you that he should decide what to do. Be independent, and you're on a coalition path with William Ruto, or dance to the tune and your friends. I don't know what to think, but that is my take.